Can a Richard Hart live stream save the prices of Pulse and PulseX? What we see right now is both Pulse and PulseX are trading below sacrifice rate. Now, this is a good thing for those who want to buy coins. If you want to buy coins, it's a good thing. But it can be an extremely emotional journey. There's highs and lows, especially when you're holding. But I think that the one thing that most people have to remember is that this is a long-term thing. And so we're going to be looking if we think that. Now, this is quite unusual for Richard Hart to have not streamed for quite some time. He's normally streaming regularly. In fact, if you look at the days of Hex, when Hex launched, you look at all the big milestones, there were big streams following that. You see Big Payday, you had big streams. The streams are still up to date. You see, just before Big Payday and after Big Payday, anytime you had big events in Hex, you had prices pumping up, you had a huge stream. When prices dipped, there were streams as well. So this is something that is a little bit unusual, right? It's a little bit unusual. And I did see an interesting comment on YouTube that I just want to read out, right? It says, I think everyone is dumping I don't think everyone is dumping due to paper hands. It's possible some have no choice. If they need the funds, they need the funds. It's unfortunate that the ones who bought high, selling low, are the folks who sagged and waited 2 years. So essentially saying that some of the people that are selling right now are the most hardcore believers, but in some cases, circumstances force people to sell. Now, here's the thing, right? It's a critical thing to remember, to not invest more than what you're willing to lose. However, I do understand the sentiment. Sometimes life happens and you need to sell when you need to sell. Now, in regards to the live stream, right, I think that a live stream would definitely be a good injection of positive energy in the space. It'll definitely bring some positive energy, because one of the things that the FUD around right now is just it's huge, and a little bit of positivity will go a long way. Now, a live stream, in my view, will not change sentiment. It will not change sentiment, but it will definitely have a positive impact on price. It'll definitely strengthen the floor price, whatever the floor price is. It'll definitely strengthen a level possibly above that floor price. But the volatility in the market is a volatility in the market. Let's take a look at this tweet by Hexologist. Best day to buy ETH was 75 days after release. Best day to buy Hex, 33 days after release. Pulse Chain released 30 days ago. What do you think? Do what you will with this information. Now, a few days ago, we made a video with a similar sentiment from MoneyGang Crypto, when we were saying that most cryptocurrencies, most layer one solutions, they bottom in the first 90 days of the L1 existing, the first 90 days. So we are in a point where I think that the numbers from the Hexologist tweet, from the MoneyGang tweet, numbers are saying that we should hit a bottom. Now, Richard Hart not streaming could be by design, to just say, okay, look, this will probably help us hit a bottom quicker. Because maybe if he does stream, the excitement comes back, people start buying up, and then we prematurely get into a bull run. And maybe if we had hit a bottom quicker, that's better. Because one thing that I do know, that for the most part, right, Richard Hart has always taken actions that are in the interest of long-term believers. And right now, in my view, yes, we waited 2 years, but I think that his calculation of time starts now, when the assets are tradable on the market. So I think that the long-term we're thinking about starts today, not the 2 years that we've passed, but starting when the launch happened, when Pulse Chain launched, which is now about a month now. So the best thing for me, right, what I think is obviously the best strategy for me is definitely having a positive state of mind. I think that's very, very, very important. So I don't think I will be making much negative content. I'll be making definitely positive content, because I believe in the long-term health of Pulse Chain. I believe that this Pulse Chain long-term is going to be one of the biggest platforms out there. So I don't think that making negative content is going to be helpful for that. I don't think it's helpful for having a good state of mind whilst we're waiting. Because for the most part, I think most of us have agreed that we believe in this long term, so we're going to stick to it. We've seen the dips happen in Hex. We've seen the dips happening in all of crypto. Bitcoin has had massive dips. Ethereum has had massive dips. That does not attest to the validity or the value that the blockchain, that the network gives. So I think that the best thing is to have a positive state of mind, and obviously be long-term minded. And if it is that if you must, then you can think about diversifying into maybe Ethereum, right? I wouldn't diversify into anything risky. Ethereum is known as stable. If you must diversify into something like Ethereum, if you say, okay, I'm scared of this, but Pulse Chain is the place to be right now. the gains you can get from Pulse Chain are not the same as the gains you can get from Ethereum or Bitcoin. And if you try and say, okay, let me go to the riskier plays, then now you're playing with fire. Now you're playing with fire. And I think that right now in this bull run, it's not a time to make mistakes. And for the most part, many of us have made all the mistakes before. So now they're not going to be any more mistakes. And if you haven't learned by fire, if you haven't made the mistakes before, you've got to start learning from those who have and saying, okay, what are the big mistakes that you made? And maybe I'll make a video about that sometime, talking about the big mistakes to watch out for. And I think I'll tell you one, the biggest mistake you could ever make is hopping from coin to coin because your coin is not pumping, right? I think it was West Coast who said that buy coins with good product market fit and wait your turn. Wait your turn will come. And the fact that your coin is not pumping right now, the fact that Pulse is not pumping right now, does not mean it'll never pump. Just means that it's not Pulse's turn. Because I do see some people trying to chase each and every pump. You hear someone is talking about, well, I've seen that Pepe pumped, so now we should be pumping like Pepe. No, every coin has its time where it pumps, and then every coin has its time when it's not moving. And you got to realize this, right? That in a year out of 365 days, the days where you have massive pumps are not that much. I think it's about 15, 16 days out of 365 where you have pumps, like huge game-changing pumps. I'll make a video covering all those stats, and so that we can realize that, look, just because things are not moving does not mean they're not moving. They're actually moving, but we just don't see it. Anyway, guys, not financial advice. Let me know what you think about all of this. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you again next time.